Putting the spotlight first up on global investment institution Lighthouse Canton that has announced the final closure of their AIF at about 350 crore rupees. Sumegh Bhatia is the CEO and Managing Director at Lighthouse Canton, now joining us on the show. Thanks so much for taking time out. So what exactly is the focus of the fund? It's more early stage companies. Is it primarily pre-Series A or Series A funding?
Yeah, that's right, Avanne. So thank you for having me. We launched this fund last year in first quarter of 2022. And, our objective was to cover the complete private market ecosystem in India. As Lighthouse, we've already very well established in South Asian markets. This was our the first fund we launched in India. 350 crore funds, predominantly focusing on early stage companies, predominantly four sectors. Those are the sectors we have the most understanding of. So we focus on Fintech, consumer tech, agritech, and insurance tech. So these are the four sectors. The objective was to invest into early stage companies, companies which are already showing revenues, want to be the first institutional investor in those companies, and obviously to participate in the growth journey of these companies over a period of time. So that was the objective of the fund.
So Sumegh, in terms of individual sectors, what is it that really stands out? Would it be more health tech and consumer tech?
So see, we continue to like these sectors we've been already invested in. I think we've started looking at health tech very aggressively now. Insurance tech is something which we predominantly have been investing, not only in India, but we have one or two companies outside of India we've invested in. Having said that, see, this is a very public market approach to private market investing. We are very focused on constructing a portfolio, which we have done last year. Fortunately, the markets have been very favorable for us. The objective was to deploy 50-60% of the total size of the fund into good quality portfolio companies, and then the balance amount to participate in the up rounds of a lot of our winners, which are part of our existing portfolio.
What about the kind of companies that you will avoid? I believe that very capital intensive startups don't really make the cut. Can you just walk us through the details as to what exactly it is that does not really appeal?
So see, we are looking at good operating businesses, wherein while capital is required for incremental growth in those companies, but these companies are not only driven by capital. There is already a proof of putting with respect to how these companies have been operating. There is a well-established business model. We don't like discounted models, as a matter of fact. So these are predominantly the few starting points what we have looked at while investing into these companies.
So Sumegh, give us a sense as to which are some of the portfolio companies that you guys have currently invested in.
Sure, I'll not be able to name these companies, Avanne, but I can give you a broader construct right now. So we, as you know, we made our final closure in September of this year. The complete 350 crores has been raised. Of that, we have deployed around 270 odd crores across 32 companies so far. And, of these 32 companies, we have already seen follow-up rounds happening in 16 of them, which is 50% of the portfolio. And we participated around 10 of these companies, 9 or 10 of these companies as our up round investments to support the company on the growth path.
And what about the plans in terms of the, this AIF? I believe that half is going to be to deploy in building the portfolio. Where will you be utilizing these funds toward?
Yeah, that's right. So as I said, we've already invested in 32 companies. full last year, we were looking to build the portfolio. We've already deployed around 270 crores of the fund. And of that, we have looked at around 10, 12 companies wherein we have participated in the up rounds. These are our winners, companies which have seen substantial growth from the time we have come in. Also, having said that, 16 of our companies, which is 50% of the portfolio, has already seen follow-up rounds, wherein obviously we have not led those rounds.
And, given that we're looking at the dynamic where India to a great extent has started even outpacing China when it comes to a lot of aspects related to startups, the number of unicorns produced, for instance, how are you looking at the India opportunity?
Sure. See, I can give you a little perspective of how our flow of capital has been, because, they'll give you a fair idea of how active are global investors in allocating capital to India. So outside the institutional participation from a sovereign we had in India, predominantly we have raised money out of Southeast Asia and India. And this is across large family offices, a few institutions who are very actively looking at allocating capital in this space in India. So we have seen active participation from a few large investors, family offices in Middle East. We have seen participation from family offices based out of Singapore. And obviously, a sizable part of the allocations have come from family offices out of India as well.
Let's move on then.